The Navy is in the process of gathering public input on the environmental impact of its training on marine mammals. The Navy agreed to limit the use of sonar and underwater explosives in a settlement with environmentalists 3 months ago. Joining me now are Alex Stone, Environmental Planning Program Manager of the U.S. Pacific Fleet, and Wayne Perryman, Program Leader for the Southwest Fisheries Science Center. Alex, let's start with you. What exactly is sonar training?
Sonar training is the Navy using sound to try and detect objects in the water, like a submarine, for instance.
Okay, Wayne, the waters off the coast of San Diego are home to humpbacks, grays, blue whales, and dolphins. What effect does the use of sonar and underwater explosives have on these marine mammals?
Well, we know for certain that the sound from these sonars affects the behavior of animals. Certainly animals in some environments that are on feeding grounds may be displaced, may move off temporarily because of the sound. If animals are very, very close to the sound source, it can result in mortality. So there can be significant impacts from sonar exercises, and you're right, it's a crowded ocean out there. There are a lot of animals near shore off California.
Alex, earlier this year, the Navy reached a settlement with environmentalists in which it agreed to limit the use of sonar and underwater explosives. Is there a time frame on that limitation?
Yes, there is. The settlement that the Navy entered into will expire with the expiration of our current permits from the National Marine Fisheries Service in December of 2018.
And will the Navy unilaterally agree to extend those limits for the next training period?
It's something that the current EIS that we have just begun the process will study. We will study the settlement agreement restrictions in the EIS, but we haven't made any decision about the future of those restrictions.
Wayne, earlier this year, a federal judge said the National Marine Fisheries Service had violated environmental laws when it said the Navy's training would have a negligible impact on marine mammals. What do you think of that characterization?
Well, I think that the Navy is doing a lot to reduce impacts on marine mammals. I think the nature of their work means they're going to impact some animals, and I don't know there's anything we can do about that. What we're trying to do is, using some spatial modeling, tell them chunks of ocean where they can safely operate and their impacts on mammals will be minimal. So that's the active route we're taking right now in dealing with the Navy and the need for them to do exercises.
So are there any other ways in which the service might change how it evaluates the impact?
I think that's underway right now. Not only are we looking at the requests the military's made to extend their permit, but we have a lot of ongoing research programs where we're looking at animals that live in areas where we know there's going to be testing. AUTEC is a good example in the Bahamas, where they do the submarine commander's course. We're tagging animals and see how they respond to this sound. Is there a short-term effect? Is there a long-term effect? And how is it affecting these animals individually? Is it affecting their health? Is it affecting their reproduction? So we're trying to learn more about what these impacts are and the duration of the impacts.
The Navy had its first meeting last night in gathering public input about its training. What are people telling the Navy?
I think the concerns that we're hearing are similar to those in the past, that they'd like us to consider different mitigation measures, and there's just a lot of basic information about what we do, where we do it, and why the Navy trains. And we do appreciate that it is a complex topic. So I think at this stage, a lot of people are just trying to learn more about the process, and we welcome people's input on what the environmental impact statement should look at more closely.
What was turnout like, and how much weight does the public's input carry?
The public's input carries a great deal of weight, and it's not just limited to the people that attended the hearing last night. We're also accepting scoping comments through January 12th, and there's a lot of information on our website, hsttteis.com, and we carefully consider all of the scoping comments, and then after the scoping period closes, then we develop a draft environmental impact statement that is also released to the public, and we respond to comments on the draft environmental impact statement as well.
Okay, so the public comment session continues into January, and when that draft environmental impact statement comes out, when does it come out actually?
It comes out next summer. Yeah, next summer.
Okay. Alex, Wayne, thanks so much for coming on the program.
Thank you.
Thank you.